Hey, Danny and Mike listeners, before we get to the episode today, I wanted to ask a favor. Our new network, the Last Podcast Network, is doing a survey which will in turn improve the content that you hear. It only takes a minute, it's all confidential, and it's just some questions about your listening habits. You can find the link in our description of this very episode. 2, 3, 4.
The world was so big, and I was so small. Your voice was always the loudest of all. When Jeremy and I conceived of this podcast, Danny was on vacation somewhere in the East, and we originally decided to call it The Adventures of, what was it, Mike and Remy, right?
So-and-so. But we changed
But
it.
the so-and-sos were placeholders, right? Because we went to print before we actually had the title.
It's going to be so-and-so, and then...
Wait a second, guys.
But so-and-so was already taken, so we became something and something.
Hey,
What? What's up?
why?
Just spitballing here. What are you talking about? This was a Thunder Mini.
Yeah, I was going to... And also, there was the other thing...
Oh wait, this is a Thunder Mini that you guys are doing? I thought we were talking politics. That's why I was,
Well, you know what I like to do?
we shouldn't talk politics because then
There's a wind rolling in.
We'll lose some subscribers, perhaps.
Well,
How many?
Raise your hand.
How many Twitter followers have you lost in the last month with your?
shenanigans.
I don't know.
Or-
It's tough to. It's
Or
tough to
how
say.
many have you gained?
It's tough to say. That's
Because this is where I'd like to go right now. Is
Analytics?
because I think that Michael C. Morona is winning the internet right now by long conning.
Right. It is a long con. But speaking of long cons, before we get to that, welcome to Adventures Danny Mike. To my right, Mr. Michael C. Morona giving me the ET thing. And to his right, Mr. Danny Tamborelli.
Hi.
And my name is Jeremy. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Is that like the first and best example of product placement was Reese's Pieces and ET? I can't think of a better one. Like in your mind, as a kid.
But real ones, not because the Wayne's World product placement was making fun of that, but that was like done.
But
that
that's
was
It was
when
also, also done years later.
Yes,
I'm talking about first.
Oh, like you're saying first.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, you were a teenager, obviously, but us as kids would, that was like one of your first, Dan, one of your first big
I would
memories
think
was
so.
ET, product
I would
placement,
think
Reese's
so.
Pieces,
Mhm.
Halloween, the whole thing.
But yeah.
I don't know. It's
Jeremy,
the first fact check.
you went on your dates to.
I don't
to
even
ET.
remember. I mean, at that point, by the time I was born, it was advertising.
Born.
Mad Men. The Mad Men era had come and gone, and
We still thought cigarettes were good for us, right? You would get the daily tablet chiseled out, and by the time it was, the news was old.
I mean, I would go out on a limb and say that car placement would probably be the first thing. And think like, wow.
like Bullet, Bullet.
Yeah,
68.
Like any of that stuff. Where
I
they're
was
like
thinking
really featuring the cars.
I was really struck because my friend Vincent.
Yes.
Vincent.
shout out to Vince. What's up?
He sent me, because of my long-standing and slightly odd obsession, he sent me a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser.
Oh,
And not only did he send me a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser, he sent me a novelty Hello Kitty Pez dispenser, which is about the size of Muppet, basically.
Wow. So for the listener,
Muppet's like a
small
cool,
dog, small
40 pound, yeah, 30 pounds.
Small
2
dog.
feet long,
Yeah.
two and a third.
And sitting in the UA on Knapp Street in Sheepshead Bay the other day, I got the rudest surprise when my gift in both forms, in both normal form and novelty 2-foot form, was a major fucking plot point and product placement in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Spoilers, guys.
Oh wow.
What?
Really? It's right. It's in the commercial.
You saw
yeah,
it.
That's
I didn't. It is in the commercial.
It is in the commercial.
Well,
So you're
if
not
it's in the
spoiling
commercial,
anything.
I'm
There's
saying
nothing spoiled
It's
in
not
a
a spoiler then.
commercial.
I got to tell you, I've never seen a commercial for the movie. I just went and saw the movie. It for that matter, it was shocking because it brought me out of the movie for a second because it's a real world.
Yeah.
That's so silly. It's so silly, that advertising.
Yeah, I don't like the some product placement's fine, but CBS has a policy to not allow anything.
Get out of here.
They used to let Apple until that went south, and then the only other one.
Oh, because you've been working on elementary.
Yeah, but like a lot of most CBS shows, they don't want to do any other products except their own. So everything is generic or,
Freaked.
yeah. But back to our fact check.
Go ahead.
The first product placement, 1927, in a film called Wings.
There you go.
Clara Box, Gary Cooper, and in one scene, a prominently placed Hershey's chocolate.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Hershey's.
So
That makes sense.
So how far did we get in 67 years? Excuse me.
Now it's everywhere.
57
Blacklight
years.
tattoos.
QR codes that only
codes
that only show up when they're rubbed on like hypercolor.
If you have a friend who is a prop guy, sometimes you can get your band sticker on a helmet that
that's true.
Pink wears.
It wasn't Pink. It was Josh Gad.
Oh, well. He looks just like Pink.
Pink hair.
Josh Gad.
You know what? Depending on their haircuts, yes.
When he actually Josh Gad in that movie crashed into a van that says Balin on the side, Balin Plumbing, which we had made, and then when he is trying to get up, Pink comes and picks up his helmet. So she did have something to do with it. So
Cool.
there you go.
I like that.
Danny just wanted to be able to say pink helmet.
Pink helmet. Yeah, but there were multiple Jounce stickers on there. So
There were
welcome.
multiple. That's right.
So what you've done is sort of
That's Easter egging, though. That's like for some nerd.
It's not Easter egging
Yeah, it
because
could be.
you have an ongoing concern that is trying to sell records. So it's an actual product.
No, I don't agree because no one's going to look at that and be like, "Ooh, who's that band? I'm going to go buy their record."
It's not.
But
You didn't
if
provide
somebody
the
knows
consideration.
who Jounce
Sure.
is, and they're like, "Oh shit," that's why I would call it an Easter egg.
Here's
more of that than a.
it's an Easter egg until somebody does see the sticker and says, "Oh, I'm going to check out that band," and then your theory is
then
out
that's
the fucking
called
door.
then that's called indirect advertisement.
Yeah,
and
and
I'm down with
not
it.
if I'm putting it on the helmet that's in the shot.
So if that's the
Well-
Easter egg, what is the Passover bitter herb then? Like
Fuck.
when you have the picture of your old girlfriend and the.
I don't. Wait, what?
When you have a picture of your old, like you used a picture of yourself in
Yeah.
like a movie, but you have a picture of you with your old girlfriend, you're like very bittersweet about it.
Yeah,
Have you not gone to Passover ever?
I know, but I just went to my first Shabbat.
First Shabbat.
Shabbat shalom.
Yeah.
First
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat. I've been to a Shabbat.
I
Shabbat
did-
Shalom. I heard
Yeah.
that's what they say.
I had a little mini vacation. Me and the gal went world traveling. Went to Los Angeles, to Joshua Tree, to Seattle, to Portland.
That's not the
It's
world.
the same country.
Small world.
Yeah.
It's a small
world
country
after all.
world. Yeah. But anyway,
Did
yeah.
Disney pay you to say that? Is my question.
No. I'm a Nickelodeon guy. I don't like Disney. You're welcome.
Just because I was in the Mighty Ducks doesn't make me Disney, but it does a little bit.
you hate
Just a
Disney.
little bit.
That's like
don't
that.
lie.
I call
that's-
it the rat.
that's
I do, but it's different. It's,
That's like take a knee. Hell no, I won't take a knee. I'm Disney, but I'm not. But I'm a little bit Disney.
I'm a little bit Disney.
I'm a little bit Nickelodeon.
but I'm mostly Nickelodeon.
And there's orange and some mouse
And-
blood in me.
And I found out that I'm 19% less Italian than I thought I was.
Don't do that shit, dude. You don't want to find out. It's like that song.
It's not cool. Well, it is cool. I'm okay with it because I'm
It makes you more
19
irie.
he's 19% Iberian Peninsula. So I've got
So
some
you got the bass.
Portuguese or
You got
Spanish in me
some
now.
sardine
Yeah.
fishermen in there. Those
And this
big,
was a-
those
I
big
wondered
fat
why
sardines.
I liked it so much, and now it makes sense.
23andMe or something.
Yeah, my parents did 23andMe. They want me to do it now and
Don't.
spend $80.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Do not do it.
My mom
mean-
did it. She was like, I don't want to do it. I'm 100% Irish. I know I am.
Protect the brand.
I know
Protect
I
the
am.
brand. Protect the podcast. Do
She's-
not use this
she's-
potential.
she's
Do
90
not utilize this
If you're not
potential
Italian
She's
at
like
advertising.
all,
99%
that whole case,
Irish.
a lot of these podcasts we're gonna have to delete because we've
Yeah.
always been.
Oh shit! This could be like a Thanos. This could be like a Thanos move to the podcast if you get 23andMe. You realize that, right? All of a sudden, all of our fucking content is out the window. Carolyn is like, "What the fuck am I tackling for?
yeah.
Who is this kid? I don't even know myself." It's like that song. I have a really great record that I got from I think the Portchester Salvation Army. I would go to the ones over by Purchase because there's still a lot of good stuff. King Jellicoe and his Calypso Monarchs, but they do a cover of that old great song. Woe is me, shame and scandal in the family.
I don't know that one.
Trinidad, there was a family. Your mother's not your mother, but your mama don't know. You don't know that one?
No, but I'd like to know it.
Oh, I'll play that record. That's a good record.
Yeah, that'll
Thank
check
you.
that out for the
Thank
listener. It's some free. It's Michael's Music Corner, I think, is what we called it before.
Yeah, MMC.
Yeah.
Welcome to the MMC.
Yeah, I got
I'm
what do you
your
call
host,
it? I got
MCM.
I got choked out of MMA. I was allergic to MMB, and here I am.
What about you with the time you're on DMT?
And you've never had an MBA.
No,
he
I
was
dropped
in
out
the
of college.
MBA, but he does.
Right.
Then he got an MBA.
I got 2 rings,
Yeah.
but no business degree.
Right. The rings were gifts Yeah.
From
from the office from 10 years of service.
what do you think
We've
Putin
really
did?
lost track of
What do you
where
think
this,
Putin
what
did
is this
with,
mini about? Can
with-
we?
What do you think Putin did with
question.
Bob Kraft's Super Bowl ring?
Oh yeah.
What do you think Putin did with Bob Kraft's Super Bowl ring?
He put it up his tushy.
I mean, is that like that could be a real life
And then he says, hey, look,
Pulp Fiction 25 years later? We could do like a real Pulp
my ass
Fiction.
is so tight I shit diamonds.
Yeah,
And
but
then he
he-
just poops.
Shit tight
that's
like
how-
a diamond. Shit tight like a diamond.
Wow. I don't think I'll ever hear that song the same way ever again. Thanks, Mike.
You won't hear it again anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Thunder
No,
might
that'll
cover
come back.
Oh, Thunder might
it.
cover
No,
that.
let's not rule it out.
You
yeah.
went to the West Coast.
I went to
Sorry.
the West Coast. Yeah,
You-
I don't know if that's what this mini's about.
I don't
but-
know. Who cares?
Who cares?
This. I feel like this is
Joshua Tree.
This is stream of conscience
Yes.
mini.
That's what
This
we're gonna-
mini is about anything and everything that we're discussing in this moment
That's
right
right.
now, currently.
Which is Joshua Tree. No, basically we started in LA and spent a couple days. We went to all of our, places, Don Antonio's to get
This
Mexican food.
wasn't a place for you to like
Your
go
velvet-
looking at different things. This was
Your
a straight
Velvet
up,
Wall
This
tour.
was your nostalgia trip back
Yes.
to Los Angeles, hitting all
Absolutely.
your spots.
Yep. And then for Shabbat, I got to meet some of Marla's family. Her cousin had a beautiful Shabbat dinner.
what's the name?
Melissa,
What's the name?
listener, Marla's his girlfriend.
Yes. Well, they know. I think they know that by now.
Oh, I'm just making
I've said
sure.
it enough.
His
Anyway,
girlfriend.
Jeremy's
got a
girlfriend.
it's going to be a year here now. Less than a month.
Holy
I know.
shit.
hockey mushrooms! It's
I
a whole year.
know.
What are we gonna do?
Well, right now it's
I mean,
only
what are you guys gonna do?
340 days.
yeah,
You know.
a lot of shit can happen in 20 days.
It's 22 days, 23 days. Yeah, I mean, let's not
Yeah,
rule
let's not
anything
put it-
out. I mean, anybody could get 23 and me and find out they're not even fucking Italian.
Speaking
weird.
of,
I
your whole
hid,
life.
I hid all of Jeremy's pills, and he's become ornery.
What are you talking about? He's been peppy these first 13 to 20 minutes.
Well, speaking of anniversaries, which is what we just talked about, there's another important one coming, which is 1 second.
And
What's September 10th, guys?
September 10th was that 5 years?
That's our 5-year anniversary, fellas.
Fuck yeah! Wow.
Wow.
Guess what? If we hold on for another 2 years, we'll beat out the original series that we were on in terms of years that,
That
we
is true.
that we worked.
It'll be a
We've
shit
also
all
blown.
you wanna
We've
do.
destroyed the
in
number
terms
of episodes.
Yeah, our episode count is way over this. We're approaching syndication where they never did. But in fairness, they had Catherine Diekman, Allison Finelli.
Oh yeah, they're not the content inside the TV shows.
Yeah.
Hold much more than these 100
And these
random
paltry podcasts. However, we like to think they're pretty good, and they have a few
No,
things in
we have
common.
Fun, come on.
Except now Danny has real tattoos. This actually blows my mind because he doesn't, hide them like his character did, like a heroin addict for the most of the show.
Jeez.
Listen, my friend's dad thought I was a heroin addict just because I wore black long sleeve T-shirts all the time.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
And
But in
not-
actuality, you were just a cutter.
neither.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have any
Just checking.
and no
Sweater.
outward manifestations.
Yeah, when I wear long sleeve
you're a
shirts, I
sweater.
was a
He's not
sweater.
a sweater.
No, I said outward.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I wore long sleeve shirts back in the day, I would stick my thumb through the.
Oh, that's
end of it.
oh,
That
you
was-
started that, right?
I didn't start it, but
No, I'm pretty
I
sure
kept
you
it.
started
No, I
that.
didn't start it. I kept
No,
it.
no.
I kept it
Jeremy.
going though.
Jeremy,
I had a couple long
What did he
sleeves in
start?
college, and I still did that.
thumb holes.
Thumb holes through the.
You didn't.
Dan started that,
I
Did he?
didn't start that.
dude. I mean,
started that.
well, maybe. Do you remember the first time you saw it?
Sorry, I'm
Thumb
really
holes?
slow. That I started using them. Yes, was 2006.
Oh, so
Wait, you started using thumb holes in 2006?
Well, that's the first time I ever got a piece of
It was-
clothing that had them.
It was his college 20th reunion.
You don't get them. You don't get pieces of clothing that have them. You got to make the
you make
hole
them yourself. That's you got to blaze a
What
trail,
the
dude.
fuck?
That's how people.
I didn't-
discover thumb holes,
No.
and then they clamor
That's
for
it.
them.
No,
You
I
kinda
got
did
it.
it. You
That
kind of
was
did
my
it backwards. You did it backwards.
I went the sporty route. Yeah,
You're kind of like
I
me.
got like a wicking
You're kind of
garment.
like me with my Ocean Pacific shorts in 5th grade that were crisscrossed, that were made properly
Backwards.
with the back pockets in the front, but I didn't have to flip them around. That's the analogy.
Because inside out is wiggity, 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 whack.
Oh.
Personally, I was a fan of both ABC and Crisscross. I was not. I didn't see that there needed to be those feuds, but I understand that they sell records. Just like, people who are fans of wrestling today love all these sort of things.
They didn't need to die for their cause, is what you're saying. I mean, they're both been deceased for years.
You were in the shit?
Yeah, they were in the shit. They had a really. Did you never heard about that?
No,
ABC?
they had tough. They had a tough time.
They were rivals, and they would have hummus fights.
Stop it.
They would have hummus fights,
But not the good kind.
Not the good time.
What do you mean? Oh, they would use old spoiled hummus to fight, and thus potentially with listeria, all kinds of bad.
listeria.
Yeah. I feel like hummus is just our bullshitter now. Like every time I say hummus, it's like you have to immediately know.
Don't say no.
And we can thank some anonymous fuckhead on Brooklyn Vegan 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Dan tries to say he doesn't read the comments. Dan tries to say he never reads the comments. Listener, just so you know, Dan reads the comments.
Looks like Little Pete's been eating a lot of hummus
And not the good kind. I totally remember that.
Fuck you.
You know what, Jeremy? We should do another. I was thinking we should do another Nightlines.
I'm into that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We should shoot another Nightlines.
For the listener, head on over to Man Boobs Comedy and their YouTube page.
Why don't you just move it over to host it at Danny and Mike?
Well, we can throw it.
I know,
we can also promote
we can
it.
definitely do that there.
I think it is on the YouTube page.
Is it?
As a playlist.
Give us a call at 347-470-8150 if you have any opinions about this old Nightlines with a Z.
With a Z.
And the excellent interviewing style, and probably Danny and Mike debut of producer Jeremy.
Definitely.
Valid.
That was definitely the first thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's
For sure.
let's save it for
You know what's great?
Let's save
What's
it for the
great about
trivia
that?
questions.
Hey, for the listener, when you watch that, just look at how
Much Jeremy's face resembles a
there's
moon.
that, and there's an outtakes. If you look at the outtakes reel, you will see that as soon as Jeremy and Mike met, that Mike was like listening to everything that Jeremy said, and it was like his first time in the apartment, and he was like,
Oh, it was.
"Oh yeah." Oh no, sure.
Yes,
Oh
I
yeah,
remember
no.
that.
I remember. No, I'll do it that way. Yes, Jeremy. Yes, sir. Yes. And
Oh, you can see
how
the way
far we've come from that.
you can see the way he
Yeah, but
he molded me to his will, right? Oh, he bent me to his will.
the same thing can be said about you. I could probably go back to get the tapes of the first Man Boobs thing. It's the same thing. You were young and bushy tailed. We were all
Wasn't he wearing long sleeve t-shirt?
No, I was wearing cutoff. No, the first Man Boobs thing that
Pink
we did,
Floyd
I was
shirt, right?
wearing my Phil Lesh cutoff tee,
That's your exercise clothes.
which is
if you've
which
seen
was
the
my
Greatest series.
Oh God.
That's right. Head on over to Greatest.
Greatest. Dial with an I. Anyway, that's what it's where my brain went to, but
That's okay.
yeah. Did some traveling, guys. It was great.
You were in the weed country.
It's weird. We thought about this that didn't intend for it to be like a weed trip, but it was like we went to 3 states that were legal, so it was like I had to go check it out. You know what I mean? In every state. Also, another thing, stayed in a tiny house.
How about cockfighting though? Have you been to 3 states with cockfighting?
That's a good point.
You know what I
wanna
mean?
hear
You don't have to do something just because it's legal. But
It's true.
Yes, houses
it's
are.
true, but look.
Yes,
hold
houses
on,
be
hold on,
houses be
hold on.
shrinking.
We've
What
talked
did you,
about.
Let's just before we get to
Yeah.
the tiny house, just tell me how you rationalized it for yourself to be able to like, I'm going to spend loot buying weed here, and then I'm going to do it here. Did you just look to see the Viva variety of it all, or were you like,
Well, I mean,
did you want gummies from this place? And I'm sure you looked it up on Weed Maps or like did some
that
research
happens.
to be like, ooh, I want to go to
Yeah.
this place because it's got this and this.
I mean, we looked for the highest rated ones in the neighborhoods, basically, or whichever ones were physically closest to us at the time. One or the other.
Being possessed, you did the Dan and Kate in Portugal thing, where it's a lot of walking, a lot of walking.
Yeah,
We did a lot of walking.
they are like the incredibly. I mean, we didn't meet.
They walked from LA to Seattle. You didn't know that? That's
barefoot.
It's called what do you call it? The negative Appalachian,
Yeah.
because it's the.
snabble up and you
Yeah.
You know, Missy Elliott still holds up.
Did you see that?
Missy Elliott really people still bump that all the time, and those tracks are still good.
Yeah, the lady at the wedding singing Missy was. But did you see that viral video last week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, incredible.
No, no, I did not.
Yes. So they're very It's a candy shop for people who like weed. It's exactly what it is. So
you just like
everything
weed, so
and
you went to
anything.
So it's like a kindergarten for pedophiles, is what you're saying?
It's like a Chuck E. Cheese without the kid.
You can't get into Chuck E. Cheese without the kid.
valid.
I've tried.
I got guilty. I got guilty right away, and I turned around. There was like an escalator, and I was like,
I still had a mustache in the facial hair. They didn't even let me through the door.
You probably still had you look like you had a wristband on you from Bellevue.
You still have the kid leash dragging behind you.
exactly.
Like, no, he was here.
I swear.
I
swear.
had a kid.
I swear. Like Eddie Murphy in Boomerang. Kirby.
Oh man, Boomerang. I was talking about Boomerang about somebody else the other day about the soundtrack.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That takes me back.
Hot sex on a platter.
If you want to think about the 90s.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of the 90s.
Speaking of the 90s.
Jeremy is our designated Segway man. It's because our Segway man budget is at $45.
In the 90s, only one state Jeremy would have been able to smoke.
Get legalized.
Right. Yep. And you would have had to go through. You'd have to go to the Green Doctors.
Good.
Yes.
But now you don't have to be in the 90s to live the 90s.
To live the
because
90s
we can
over
bring
again.
the 90s to you.
Dun, 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 dun.
Do it.
It's tour time, ladies.
Tour time.
And I know it's been announced and everything.
Let's
and we
talk
talked about
tiny
it a
tour.
little
Let's
bit
talk tiny
more,
house tour time.
But we're all excited and we're prepping and getting ready and getting the details, the T's crossed and the I's dotted. And basically, the tour begins September. What is it, Dan?
13th at the Amityville Music Hall.
Amityville Music Hall. That's not just any music hall. It's not the Westbury Music Hall for that damn sure.
No, it's not.
Because that's the Westbury Music Fair. I know.
That's correct.
I was there.
I'm sorry. I'm very bad. I'm
the next
trying
night
to
will be. We don't have to go through all the dates are on DannyandMike.com / events.
Even though it says live in the drop down menu. Don't worry about that.
We can change that. Fix
if you have a problem with that, call 347-470-8750 and tell the fellas, mostly Jeremy, what you think about things
and
like
keep
that.
them coming. We're going to do another one of those minisodes soon too.
We love those. We love hearing from you. Yeah. We do. We honestly love hearing from you. Whether it's online, over the air, or
through Twitter,
through Twitter, through the gram, I guess, because you can do unlimited comments that are, or just
you could do
screenshots of the Notes app, like a celebrity apology.
I've tried to get Michael C. Morona to get on Instagram.
Fuck that shit.
I wish you would.
Fuck that shit.
It's much better than Twitter.
God bless people.
God bless
people are great. You know, I just don't want to be in the Zucco system.
True.
Yeah, Facebook,
Jack's not any better, man. Jack's not any better.
Jack sucks a Nazi
it's like,
dick.
It's
Fuck
just,
that guy.
it's all bad, man. Yeah, so like, you might as well just get on all of it. Because I personally, I just don't like doing all the social media attention myself.
What you're doing is making an argument for running red lights everywhere because we have to get places, and that's no good. That leads to.
Well, I like to yield at red lights. Okay,
yield at red lights. It's an advisory for Dan. We're gonna tear down all the save money. We're gonna tear down all the traffic signals and just paint those pointy arrows with the points pointing every which way.
Oh my god.
I'm totally going back to.
I just want to like.
You're on it, Jeremy. Let's go.
You know, we gave Jeremy props for being such a good producer earlier.
A great segue. He's like our.
We got a
stumbling.
No, he's my best segue guy. He just happens to currently be stuck in. Right, he's stuck over Eugene, Oregon, with a fucking bag full.
I did tell you. I just went
too
on
much
a
weed while
vacation.
you were gone,
and he brought it back with him apparently.
But no, we'll be on the road in September. Check us out, September 13th in New York, Long Island. And then
all the way until September 23rd, back in New York.
Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Mishawaka, Indiana, Bloomington, Illinois, or Illinois. I don't know.
Bring in the Illinois.
Indianapolis.
Indiana.
Just kidding. Cincinnati, Taps Ale House, Lansing, Michigan, and the Tavern, Toledo, Ohio. Where else are we going, Dan?
We're going to the Mohawk.
Hell yeah.
Mohawk Place in Buffalo.
We may have something very special. That's the last night of tour,
right.
and we might have something very special there. So if you're in the Buffalo area,
that would be a good time to see. It will be a
good time to go. I know it's a Sunday night, kids, and we won't keep you up too late.
We promise. But
8 to 11.
Could be rewarding. I like that. We got a hard out, right?
Hard out at 11.
That's right.
Yeah, and then Jeremy's going to drive 5.5 hours back.
He's staying sober. That's what I
Well,
understand.
depends on.
No. We flipped for it, and you were the
Well,
you were the designated driver.
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
talk a little more about that. Well,
Yeah,
sidebar.
you
want
drive.
sidebar?
No.
The Danny and
sidebar
Mike
then.
show is brought to you by
Last Podcast Network. Check them out. LastPodcastNetwork.com. They have a lot of great podcasts.
Yeah,
over
check
there.
out their podcast because they're
Brighter
not just our
Side.
podcasts.
Right. Excuse me.
The brighter side.
The brighter side. That's your choice for the week.
That's
Okay.
my choice for the week.
I'm always going Last Podcast on Left because it's.
I mean,
incredible.
we can all have it, and you know.
Also, check
fine.
us out. This man right here on my right, at Michael C. Morona, on the tweets.
If you have a problem, I might just put you on hold.
And,
My God,
and
we didn't even talk about that either.
Nobody's stopping you.
nobody's
It's a
stopping
it's a mini. Do
It's
what
a
you
mini.
want.
Well,
Well, we're almost there.
Yeah.
We're almost to the mini end.
yeah,
We're almost to the mini end. But if you guys like a good 3-week-old laugh,
That's still
just-
going,
That
yeah.
still continues because people are stupid and bots are real and trolls are,
Yeah.
Santa is not.
Santa's not real.
Well, let's not kill it for the kids.
Drunk Santa. Drunk Santa.
Drunk
is
Santa is
very
real.
real. Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk to Drunk Santa again.
You're going to have to get some sort of medium or psychic because,
Yeah.
as we recall,
Oh my God.
Drunk
You didn't
Santa's
think-
ass is dead.
You did not think that we would let Drunk Santa off the hook that easy, man. He can come back. I know plenty
You
of
know a lot of media.
Oh, you
I
wanna
know
re-
a
you
lot
wanna-
of clairvoyance.
you want to
man.
reanimate him instead with those pins and shit?
Oh, that could be fun. That
You
could
probably
be
you
fun.
have enough pins.
We could
Look,
do that.
I'm just glad that you're taking time off of your busy Verizon customer service job to
Yeah.
go on tour. That's
Check
all
out
I'm saying.
Michael C. Morona's Twitter feed for the last couple weeks. It's a thing of beauty. And
And it's also scary because maybe
Partly
people are going to come and.
Oh, I've already
and-
gotten some.
and
I've already got
kill-
some phone
kill
calls from
Morona.
blocked numbers.
Have you really?
Yeah,
wow.
How do you get your phone number?
come on.
Is it easy?
How do they not understand anything?
Wow.
This show is brought to you by Daniel Tamborelli, which
That's
is
right.
D Tamborelli on one social media
And
network.
then Danny Tamborelli on the Insta.
Inexplicably.
And you've got another podcast
I got
called Fresh Beef.
Yeah, check that out. And oddly enough, another podcast I work on, produced called The Bradshaw Boys, had a director on from Pete and Pete. So that's a cool little weird crossover.
Whoa.
Allison McLean was a guest
Yeah.
on
the
the
best
last episode.
I subletted.
and,
I subletted her apartment. Did
Oh,
you guys
wow.
talk about that?
no,
You didn't
but
talk about
she-
how I wrecked her.
well, I
dishes.
guess
That's
she's
good,
got to
yeah.
be a guest on this show now.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
We'll make
Wow,
it
you had
happen.
Allison McLean. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
She
So,
directed an
check that
incredible
out.
film called Crash and a great short called Kitchen. So I'll
Jesus'
shut up.
Son.
I'll shut
She
up now.
directed Jesus'
I told
Son,
you, Jesus' Son made me want to do drugs so bad. And then I had diarrhea in Beverly Hills. See,
so
there's
much
an
more
early.
to talk about.
There's
so
Yeah.
much more.
I'm saying we got to be able to index the podcast so people can remember what I'm talking.
Yeah.
So people can easily look up the
Yeah.
pod I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, and if you're interested, send your resume to info@dannyandmike.com.
Check out our Patreon
to be a data miner.
And also, please check out our Patreon.
Patreon.com/Danny and Mike with the
and spelled out.
Dan, isn't it the and spelled out?
Some great
I tuned out.
trying to get the videos caught up.
Some
trying
great
to get-
rewards
Yeah.
for backers. We also have just developed some new merch that might find its way
Oof.
there.
And
Some really hot, I smell something in here because I think Jeremy's fingertips are singed.
Well, we have been working on some very special stuff,
Yeah.
and
It's called weed. We have our own Pete and Pete weed now. And
Oh, you
can only sell it.
developed
You can only
you
sell it. We can
developed
only
a
sell it on the
brand.
West
Orange
Coast.
Kush.
Yeah.
No, we wrote an
It's
endless
called-
Mike and an orange
Endless
orange
Mike.
Lazarus.
Endless Mike is the weed that lasts for 17 days.
That's our diesel strain. That's our diesel mix, and then there's an orange Lazarus that's just it's very heady.
Yeah.
It
Well-
gives you a brain freeze.
But speaking of that, we are going to have new merch. Check that out. If you're going to come to our little mini tour here, or
Yeah, we
you'll
will
definitely
bring
have
some
it there,
fun stuff for you.
and then definitely have it when we're done with
I
that.
have cousins on Long Island. I hope they come.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I hope Aunt Carolyn comes.
I was gonna say, wham!
that'd be great. All right, y'all. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Baylor. This podcast is part of the Last Podcast Network, which can be found at lastpodcastnetwork.com. Make sure to check that out for a ton of great shows. For more information on the guys, visit our website at dannyandmike.com. Also look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with the N spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.